Well, welcome to the Debbie and Kim Show.
Real people, real talk. From challenges to wisdom, conversations that heal, inspire, and empower.
We are so happy. But I'm always happy when I sit next to Kim and we get to do
yes,
this podcast.
this is the best energy.
Yes, the best energy that we have. And we work well together. And I think we bring people on the podcast that reflect our energy and our personality.
You know, I just want to say this. The people that we attract into our lives, we attracted them. That's why they're there. And so, that's a good thing.
right.
And if it's something that doesn't feel good, it's just an opportunity to go inside and accept that part of you that you're rejecting in that person. So
Yeah.
That's
So,
right.
it's all good.
it's all good. Kim's had a busy week. We've had a busy week, but we love when we get together and we get a chance to talk to our podcast guests.
Yes. And we
And
have a special treat for you today.
yes, we do today. I met a wonderful, wonderful woman when I was visiting Cielito Lindo. It's a gorgeous place, and we'll talk a little bit more about that later. But I met this young lady, and she has written a book, and I felt that this book should be shared. And I felt that the experiences, it's not, oh, you don't have that. Yeah.
I had it.
I meant to bring the book with me and I left it on the table. So there it is up there.
Mhm.
But
But it keeps taking it off.
taking it off. Anyway,
Okay.
it's called A Tribe of
Of
Women.
Women.
And I feel like we all need to have the opportunity to read this book.
Yes.
You don't have to agree with what she's talking about, but maybe there might be someone out there that might be thinking, wow, is that why I feel this way? Is this why I feel differently? And that's why I thought it was important to have Miss Kathleen
Yes.
Sweeney on our podcast so she could tell us about her book. What I also thought, I'm going to say this and then I'm going to talk to Kathleen. I thought it was extremely interesting how vividly she told this tale. So I asked her, were you journaling this whole time? Because with my memory, I don't even remember what I had for breakfast half the time. But it's so vivid in her descriptions. And I commend you for that. And I think that takes a special talent and a special skill
Yeah.
to
I think
feel
you
like you're
relived it
and
as
feel
you
like
were
you're
telling it.
actually there.
Yeah, that's amazing. Beautiful.
Yeah.
So
And
yeah,
I want to just
That's a
say
great
this. You said,
compliment.
if you, yes, if you uh, read it, period, because it's mind opening, and it will just it'll stretch you no matter where you are. And
no
I just
matter
think
where you are in
it's
your
nerd.
journey.
I think
Yes.
I think it's a treat.
Yes.
So treat yourself.
So tell us a little bit about yourself, Kathleen. How you found yourself where you are and your journey.
That's a huge question, actually. And by the way, I'm not a young lady. I'm way past the young lady. But thank you for that. But
We
thank you.
consider we're young.
We're all in that same group. We're all in that same.
Oh, I love
This
it.
beautiful gray hair, it's the wisdom, right?
Yes.
Really? Yeah. Well, geez, where do I start? I grew up a Catholic, raised in a Catholic family. I went all girls Catholic high school and grade school and all that kind of stuff. And then, as my book explains, I stepped away from that. I grew, I think, because of many, many different things. Many things led up to it.
Mhm.
Um, And then I've become what I call a born again pagan, or
Love that.
basically,
I
I'm a
love that.
daughter of the goddess. Yeah, I'm a
Daughter
daughter
Oh
of
of
my
the
the
mother
gosh.
goddess.
goddess.
I love that when I read
Right.
it in your
I
book.
feel like I've
Born to be in pagan. I loved it.
I feel like I've I feel like I've lived different lives this one lifetime. I mean, I've been everything from a secretary to a elevator girl operator. Do you guys even remember when there were elevator operators?
I remember,
Really?
especially in the
Yep. Get
And
on,
in
they
the
tell you what
yeah,
department
for. Yep.
stores.
Yep.
Yes, yes.
Yep.
really. To finally breaking out and owning my own businesses. I had a restaurant for 11 years, which was a wild, wild time.
What kind of food?
And then I went on. Well, it was all home cooking, comfort food, but all we did everything there, from the boiling the
From
potatoes
scratch.
and seasoning them for
Wonderful.
hash, scratch, right, total scratch. And then let's see, then I went sailing, first with my ex-husband and then by myself. And we did a lot of different things there, as far as business is concerned. And then I became a reflexologist,
Wow.
and then I opened up a crystal shop healing place, where I did
The physical.
reflexologies, other people did massage work, and we had a
Oh,
little shop and all that. And then
where was that?
yeah, and then went RVing, all over the world. I mean, all over the states. And then finally ended up here in Mexico.
Awesome. Well, let's
Wow.
let's let's go back a little bit to the sailing.
Okay.
How long were
Okay.
you, on in this well, I would say I call it a ship because anything small, I guess to me, I wouldn't be anything except a cruise line. I couldn't see myself in a boat in the ocean that because I can't swim and I can't drink all that water. So, how did that start? How did that desire to get out on the ocean
Sailing.
sailing?
That was part of my journey. And like I said, there are many things that led up to it, but, one of the most prominent was when I was in Santa Barbara. I had an experience that, kinda shifted me, in many ways, and I'll make a short story, but it's really
Mhm.
has to do with what we're gonna talk about. But, I was on the beach alone about pre-sunset time, and I just started playing with all the elements, the stones, the sun, the grass, the water, blah, 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 blah. I started playing hide and seek with them. Now, who knows? Who knows why? Who knows why we do these things? I have no idea. Anyway, they started to play with me, and I knew that there was some kind of entities there. So I played and played, and then I had to meet someone at sunset, so it was getting that time. So I went up on some steps. I stood there and I wanted to say goodbye to whatever those energies were. And I did. And all of a sudden, I I don't know if it was here or felt this kind of pulsing, and it got louder and louder. And all of a sudden, I was completely embraced. Um, just you could feel it, everything. Feel this embrace all over,
Beautiful.
my
Beautiful.
body, my head, my face, my arms, everything. Everything was embraced in this love that was absolutely undefinable.
Mm,
Just pure, I mean, unlike any love that I've
Loving
experienced,
energy.
really.
Really. Yeah.
Oh, it was so amazing. And so, and then it slowly melted away. And so that really got me thinking and about basically all aspects of my life. Most of all, it made me realize that there are so many dimensions here on Earth, so
Mhm.
many dimensions that we
Yes.
don't even have any idea of,
Yes.
you know,
Yes.
and
Yes.
that's one of them. And, but I was in Santa Barbara, it was on the ocean, and I just all of a sudden had this urge to get out on the ocean, to live my life on the ocean.
Wow.
So that kinda started the whole, move from at the time I was living in, Flagstaff, Arizona, and that's where my
Okay.
restaurant was.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I was that gave me the urge to move from there to the ocean, and, I sold my restaurant, of course, but then I got this is funny, you guys, I got scared, and I thought, "Uh-oh, I better get married. I better have a man because I don't know anything about sailing." I don't know.
But that's
That's
how we're
why
taught.
going
That's how
down
we're raised,
the
We're raised that that man has to be with us
Need that
to take
security.
care of us for that
really, really.
security. Yes, yes.
So,
And so you
you
got
know, who
married.
knows? I think it was the right yeah, so I did. I met a guy, blah, blah, blah. We professed love and all that stuff, which I should never have done. Anyway, okay. But I think it was still a good thing because it got
Nothing's
me
it
out
was a
there.
good thing. It was
It got
definitely a
me,
good thing, and it's
you
definitely
know,
not something you shouldn't have done.
Yes.
I agree.
yeah,
Yeah.
really.
Everything happens
So
exactly
anyway,
the way it's supposed to.
we sailed for, about 5 years together.
Mm.
That's a long
And it
time.
was on when, yeah, yeah. And it was when I was getting ready to go sailing, I wanted to get some things that I never dabbled in before, one of them which is tarot. And so, I was looking for a tarot book, a Merlin type tarot book,
Mhm.
because Merlin has always been my sweetheart
Mm.
spirit, and,
Mhm.
so I thought I'll go ahead and get a Merlin deal. Anyway, when I was in the store, this book called the Mother Peace and the Mother Peace tarot cards. Are you familiar
Mhm.
with them?
I'm not.
Yeah?
Not
No?
those particular ones.
Well, that just it was like I couldn't get away from it. I had
Mm.
Merlin
They
in my
chose
hand, I
you.
was going up to the counter. Oh, it totally did. I mean, I would never have thought about choosing it because I wasn't really into the divine feminine. I didn't even know anything about the divine feminine. So I put Merlin down, picked that up, bought it, read it, and reading it while sailing, it was, it felt like I had come home,
Mm,
like I had finally realized what
mm,
spirituality really meant,
mm,
what the whole, essence of it is. I mean,
mm.
I really felt like, "Oh my god, I've come home."
Wow.
So, that was probably one of the more powerful things too that happened that got me on this journey.
That was Mother Peace? That what the name of it? Mother
Mother
Peace?
Yeah, Mother Peace, right. Tarot book, tarot cards, right. Yeah.
Beautiful. And so we're on the journey to how the tribe of women became, how it was
Right,
birthed. And I had a question, but it may come
right.
later on about the mesas.
Okay. The mesas. The
Yeah.
the Hopi mesas?
Yes.
Incredible. Absolutely incredible.
They were inspiration.
Very matriarchal, very, very beautiful. Just, yeah, that was a very special, special time. They're very dear to me. Um, that was pre-sailing.
Oh, okay.
That was when I was
Pre-restaurant?
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Well, not necessarily. It was my restaurant. I mean, that whole restaurant story is kinda weird. I mean, my ex my ex-boyfriend at the time, and he and I went into it together. he ended up getting something like 21 DWIs anyway, whatever,
Oh
he
my
got in
gosh.
jail, da 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 da. And so I took over the restaurant, and that's what I consider my restaurant.
Okay.
Anyway, yeah, the Hopi people are absolutely, I mean, just they're an incredible people.
S
What
what
what can
what
I tell you about them?
yeah, well, you mentioned them in your book, and so I did never heard of it, and I just
Yeah,
was wondering what it was, and then you told me it's the Hopi
yeah,
people,
they're
which are Native Americans, right? And do you have an
right,
experience with
right,
them?
yeah.
How much time did you spend with them?
Well, several actually. I think as far the reason I made them a large part of the book, or at least that part of the book, is I wanted to relate the information of how they deal with nature and who they are as a tribe, as a people.
Mhm.
They're
There was
so amazing, and also going to the snake ceremony, which you can't do anymore, I don't think. I think they closed it down. I mean, they've
Mm,
closed it off. That time you could be invited and you could go. And,
sure.
watching them deal with the snakes, speak to them, send them to the four corners to bring on the rains. That was a big, huge thing for me. I mean, you know, it's about letting all of your beliefs go.
Inhibitions.
Most people say,
Yeah.
"Oh well, yeah, that was just well, they milked the snakes, blah 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 blah, da da da," but they didn't. The rain, So I mean, just things like that. Their whole history is absolutely amazing. So yeah, so I brought them
Beautiful.
in my book.
Yeah.
uh,
Well, I'm glad you did because you just, now so many more people have an awareness of,
Huh?
of them and even a little glimpse of, into the Native Americans' way of respecting and honoring nature
it
and
mhm,
appreciating it and working
Right,
with it.
mhm. And
right,
there's also
exactly. And
there
what
was
you can
also I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, no, that's okay. Go ahead.
I was gonna say there was also a part in your book where you spoke about giving thanks. Was that from the influence of the Hopi, tribe, giving thanks for that, what, fish or deer or whatever for giving its life so that you could have food? I thought that was very interesting.
Yeah, it was a big part of my time on the boat. Um, no, actually, I didn't get that from the Hopi, although that's what they do. But
Mhm.
that came. Um, okay, we should probably. You have a question here about how do you say that? Oh,
How
where
did
is
you
it?
how did you define the no, what is define
Some-
feminine?
Something about what are experiences in nature? What um
Yes, how did your
Oh, yeah.
experience
Oh, yeah.
in
How did
nature
your
shape
experiences in nature
that
shape
spiritual path?
your spiritual path? Okay, that your question goes along with that. What happened? I think this happens to everyone who is out in nature a lot. And by that, I don't mean an occasional weekend or,
Mm,
Spending good
vacation,
time
but
and
I mean
yeah,
spending right
months,
time out there.
months.
Months, absolutely. Like for me, like it was 5 years with my ex-husband, and then for me, it was another 10 years sailing alone.
Yeah, that's long,
When
15
you're
years.
out, when you're out in nature is that much, you, or at least for me, um, things begin to bubble up inside of you, information that you don't even know you have. things bubble up, ancient, old information, and things you can't hear when you're in your everyday life, with
Yeah.
the noise all around us, the TV, the
The
radio, the
EMF
Yeah,
work, the
frequency
yeah.
waves.
schedule,
Yes.
your oh, all of that. There's no way we can be open enough. I mean, I say this, maybe there is, but when you're in
It doesn't seem
nature,
like it.
it's a totally
Yeah.
different thing. I mean, you're in the presence of the divine feminine right there.
Yeah.
And it is all around you and it seeps into you, into your core.
She have a
So what
different
happened with that
vibration.
fish, totally different vibration, absolutely. So what happened to that fish is that, we had my husband was a great fisherman, he was a hunter too, but a great fisher. He loved to collect fish, he just pull them up, bring them back, pull them up, throw them back, blah, 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 blah. Well, then we went like about a week and a half, without anything. You couldn't catch anything at all. Well, and I had already kind of developed this pattern of going up to the bow and getting very quiet and just sort of asking what's going on.
Mhm.
And when I did at that time, I was told, and I say I was told, but I think
Mhm.
sometimes what happens is it's not really that we're told or we hear a voice. It's this ancient part of you, this human inside of you that you never paid attention to before comes up with this information. So I was told that you'll get a fish for your dinner, and that you need to thank it for its
Mm.
life. You need to
Mm.
give it back honor it in every way, and
Mm.
that in that way you will always be fed.
Wow.
And so I remember he caught a fish just shortly after that, brought it up, and it was a good size, so we were gonna have it for
Mhm.
dinner. I remember going up to that fish and placing my hands around it and saying, "Thank you for this," and blah, blah, and I swear I saw the spirit of that fish leave the fish
Mm.
and move
Mm.
upward. I mean, I
Mm.
saw it. It was visible. It
Yes.
was very, very
Wow.
real.
Wow.
So, yeah. So
Beautiful.
so that's
Beautiful.
a yeah, that's the story of the fish. It
That
was
that
just
is in
but
line
nature
with.
does that.
Yeah, I
Go ahead.
believe it. I was just saying that that's like 100% in line with things that I have been experiencing, reading, and um, just taking in, and gratitude for everything, um, with
Mhm.
regards to everything. Like you said, the fish for its being giving up its living and nourishing itself so that it can nourish us. And so just being
Exactly.
grateful for
Right, right.
everything, everything.
Yeah,
I think that's
yeah,
huge. It's worth thinking of, speaking
yeah.
about every day, all day.
And could that well,
Right,
I know
right.
I know I'd asked before about, any mystical experience that deeply changed you. Would that be considered as one of those experiences, or did you have another that you'd like to share with us?
Deb, I'm so lucky. I've had so many. It would be hard to but, well,
What about the
as a young
dolphins?
girl oh, yeah. Oh, the dolphins, incredible. That was another communication.
Share with us.
But, I mean, that time on the beach, was probably the one of the greatest.
Mm.
When I was a little girl and I was saved from becoming a nun, that was another one.
Yes,
Um,
you were
and
saved.
then, yeah, with the dolphins yeah, it was really with the dolphins, they used to be around us all the time, very playful, just there, having a good time, and then, and then they stopped. They weren't around for weeks and weeks and weeks, and I knew that this was not because of some weather or something, you know?
Mhm. Mm.
And what happened is that that was when I was still with Wayne, my ex-husband. What happened is that we had decided to bring people on to our boat
Mhm.
and, let them stay for a week or whatever and, take them around. And we developed this brochure, and on the brochure, we had dolphins all over the boat, and saying in this brochure, "You'll be sure to see dolphins," and blah, 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 blah. Okay, so we fixed it up. So when the dolphins stopped appearing, I know it sounds so crazy. I went up to the bow again and what's going on? What's happening here? And it became very, very clear. You forgot to ask.
Mm.
Oh,
Was there any?
Mm.
yes.
You forgot to ask. So I said, I'm sorry. I'll ask you now. Please forgive me, blah, blah, blah. It wasn't even 15 minutes. And then we were surrounded by dolphins again.
Wow.
And that's the thing about communication with the animals, with a animal. Once you suspend your disbelief in the impossibility,
Mhm.
our communication with everything in nature
Opens up.
becomes absolutely open up, right?
Yes.
Rampant.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I 100% agree.
Mm,
100% agree.
mm.
And you said that now the consciousness softens and the conscious connection. I just wanna clarify that, the conscious
Well,
connection.
yeah, I think the fact that they are so willing, and the whales and uh that nature is so willing to communicate with us. I think to me that's the conscious connection. That is unfortunately so many people don't live consciously.
Mhm.
They live through their beliefs, through what they've been told is
Yes.
real and
Yes,
not
the
real.
conditioning. Mhm.
And to me, exactly. And to me, conscious living is being willing to open up, to to know more than what you've been taught in school or in the Bible or or whatever.
Yes,
So
yes.
I guess that's what I mean about the consciousness of the dolphins and the whales, etc. God,
Mhm.
you have no idea how conscious they are, or how smart they are, intelligent. I mean, playful, unbelievable.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes. The dolphins are definitely special, for sure.
yeah, yeah.
So I guess that's also,
I know
like you
you were.
said, when you go to the bow, and it's almost like where you take the moment to be still and to listen to what they're they're communicating. I won't say saying, but what they're communicating. We take that moment to be still. And isn't that what we always say too? When
Be
you want to
still.
calm yourself, you need to be still.
Mm,
And then
right,
you hear what you need to hear, and all that other outside influence is not directing you.
Right.
exactly.
Receive,
Yeah,
receive.
so yeah, and I don't mean to say that it's only done out in nature. I know
Mm,
people. I have a very good friend. She meditates every single day, and she gets downloads of what she says. But there's something about separating yourself off from everything that distracts us, that
mhm.
lets you go deeper, that lets you somehow go past everything that you've been taught, or what you believe,
Connect with
and
spirit
that's
Mhm.
directly. Mhm.
yeah, connect with
Yeah.
exactly, right. You got it. I know you asked
Uh,
me about the tribe, but what, um,
the
how
goddess.
the
How do
tribe
you
of women
define
is for me
goddess?
or what?
The goddess.
Right.
You're a daughter of the goddess.
Okay. Right. The best way well, she's the mother, you know, the great divine mother, our earth is
Divine
our
Mother
earthly
Nature.
mother. She's out there, right. Well, of everything, the universe,
Right, of everything,
basically.
you're right, the universe, yep.
Um, and well, and it is my belief that God and the goddess, they're not beings. They're not some man sitting up in heaven with a long white beard, with a penis and blah, 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 blah. And she's not some voluptuous, gorgeous woman, in this
Right.
low cut dress and blah, 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 goddess. It's
I love
their
it.
energy.
Right, right.
Their energy. It's
Mhm,
energy. It's a
mm,
male energy. It's a feminine energy. So
absolutely.
to understand the divine feminine energy, the divine goddess, it would be easier to understand the differences. Um, Patriarchal, what we think we know of the God energy, which is pretty much from the patriarchal religion, is hierarchical. You're down here in the bottom of the ladder. You do everything you can to crawl up and get to the top. And if you make it, really, really good. But chances are you probably won't. You may end up down in hell and blah, 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 blah. Very hierarchical.
Mhm.
Um, the energy of the divine feminine is the circle of life. And every single thing within the circle is divine and is perfect and needs to be taken care of and loved and, made sure that everything is needed, that what you need is there. So and also the God energy is concerned with heaven and his priests and women priests. They're all concerned with getting you to heaven, and it's about the afterlife,
Mhm.
the life that you should be striving for, and screw what's going on down here, right?
Mm.
The feminine energy is all about life here on earth. It's about, are you taking care of your neighbor? Are you taking care of each other? Are you taking care of yourself? Are you taking care of Mother Earth? And it's all about here now. Be here
Here.
now. And it's divinity of Earth, the divinity of Earth itself, and the divinity of
Mm,
ourselves as
mm,
part of that, and the animal and the mammals. So you have this very huge difference between who is God and who is the goddess. And the best way to understand it is through what is their energy. You know,
Mm.
what's going on? What do they represent? Blah blah blah. Now, a tribe of women, to me, what I called it a tribe of women is because I learned during my time out there with her is that we women embody that feminine energy, that circle
Mm.
of life energy.
Yes.
mhm,
We speak that language. We understand that language. We feel it in our bones, in our intuition, in our insights. And so basically, we are her tribe. We're basically a tribe of women. Does that make sense?
mm.
I mean, sort
Yeah, well, I'm getting it, I'm getting a better sense of it that if we are women and we are in tune to those characteristics,
Six.
those traits in ourselves, then we are part of that tribe, which is to care for
To
the
nurture.
earth, yeah,
To
to
nurture.
nurture, yeah,
right,
Mhm.
and, yeah,
right.
that's beautiful.
Well, even if you aren't in touch with it, you're
Mm,
still
you're
her
part of the
You're
daughter,
still
tribe.
okay?
Okay.
mm.
Okay.
Mhm.
And I think that's the thing that I would like to get over, which I don't think I did very I was telling Debbie, I don't think I really did get it over in my book, but what I was trying to get over is that is why it is so important that women do get in touch with
Mm,
that energy
mhm,
of theirs that's
Mhm.
mm.
different, that is not, the male energy. And you know, um, we're not. We're still not grasping it.
What about now there are men who have more feminine energy and some women who have
Mhm.
more masculine energy. What about that? Or how does that play a part?
Well, it's on the spectrum, there's all many different kinds of energies on the spectrum, right? And, many men have that beautiful feminine energy, and they show it. It
Mhm.
comes out in who they are and what they do. Now, they're not a daughter, but they're part of the tribe. And
Okay.
Mm.
women, even if you have a lot of I'm sorry, what?
Male,
Yeah,
masculine.
yeah, right. And even as a woman, if you have a lot of male energy, so use that feminine energy, that basic understanding of who and what we are to back your male energy. Let's take power, for instance. We gotta talk about, how does woman step into her power and what's going on with there. Okay, first of all, you have to define power. And
Mm.
unfortunately, the current definition of power for most people and a lot of women, unfortunately, that definition of power has been handed to us by a patriarchal society. It is a male power. Um, can you be a CEO of an oil company? Are you making the big bucks now? Do you have a huge house on 3 different islands? Do you drive 3 different electric cars? That's our current thought on what power is. So power for us has to be redefined in terms of what is our power as a divine feminine and a part of the
Mhm.
divine feminine. Okay, here's an example. Take a CEO of some large corporation who is in touch with the divine feminine, who holds up the values of the circle of life. How is she going to run that company?
People will
And
be
I mean, think about it
priority.
for a minute.
Yeah,
Mhm.
the
People will
nurturing.
be priority. You're
Mhm.
right. Every single aspect, every person in that
Well, how
company is going to be important
and
and
how the
taken care
company.
of, right?
Yes.
Yes, yes.
And
And also
exactly.
how the
And their
company
goal.
affects
What's the
people.
goal?
Right. What's the goal?
Exactly.
Yes.
You got it. Right. Right. Yeah. So, what was the question? I forgot. I forgot what the original question was.
The
How do
ori
you define the goddess?
Um,
But you did a great job.
oh yeah,
and
define the
And what is
goddess.
the feminine and
Right.
why it hasn't been suppressed?
yeah, and what does it
Why it
mean
has
for
been
women to
suppressed?
step yeah. Well, and what does it mean for women to step into
Their
their
power.
power?
Well, for me, it's what we are just talking about.
Mhm.
Is what you do to the divine feminine power. A woman stepping into her power the goal is not achieving, um,
Material possessions and
the
wealth.
mansion house or 2
Yeah.
boats or whatever.
Yes,
That's not the goal.
yes.
The divine feminine in power, the goal is how does she empower everyone around her and everyone within
Mm.
that company. That is her power, and that is the power of the divine
It
feminine.
is. That's true power.
So, absolutely, so it's like what the answer would be it's in what it means to step into your power is what are you gonna do with it? How are
Right.
you gonna use that
Right.
power,
Mm,
right?
I love it. And
Yeah.
it starts with ourself, in our home, then in our job, and
Mhm.
wherever we go.
Oh, yeah, totally, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah.
So, if people want your book, we wanna put it in our description of where,
How to
they
get it.
can order it.
Mhm,
I know I ordered it on Amazon,
mhm.
but I read it on Kindle. I read it on Kindle, but then I wanted it in my hand so that I could write in the margins and whatnot. So we wanna make sure that
Right.
we is Amazon the only way that you can get it, or is it available in the library at
Yeah.
all? Do you know?
Not that I know of. Not that I
Okay.
know of. You know, Amazon's pretty much it.
Okay.
But
Okay.
you can get
You can get I'm sorry.
you can get it both in hard copy or Kindle. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
We
So,
got both.
but
Listen,
yeah, we're
I wanna
both.
just I just wanna cover one more very basic thing that I think is really
Sure.
important.
Yes,
Um,
please do.
Absolutely.
that you and that's about, again, the power of the divine feminine. What is it, and it's basically all about balance. And I think we don't know anybody who would say, right, right. And we always talk about, we're out of balance, and everyone knows that. We know that. My God, we know that.
Yeah.
But what I think we don't know, and what is really important, and I hope that someone gets this from my book. Maybe they don't. I don't know that I really said it correctly. But the basic, where did we go? Where did we go out of balance? The foundation, the very basic part of that is in our spirituality. That is
100%
the
agree.
basic core.
Yeah.
We no longer have the voice of the feminine or her energy in our spirituality. I mean, some of us do. I mean,
Mm,
I see you guys,
right.
but it's just not.
But
It
by
isn't
and
that. It isn't
large, yeah,
in the
yeah.
and by and large, and in general public, for most people, we're struggling with this issue, and we don't know where it's coming from. I mean, if spiritually you're out of balance, then of course you're not going to be able to achieve it across the board. And we have to bring the feminine energy back into our spirituality. And I'm not really talking just about a woman who can become a priest, because as a priest, she's basically giving power to the male again, priest, right?
Right.
Instead of a priestess. She should
She
be a
says,
priestess. We should call her a priestess, right? And she should be bringing that feminine energy in, that teachings,
I think you make
So
a
that
very
has to
important
be that
point.
has to be done.
Yeah,
Mm.
Yeah,
yeah. I think just being able to esteem feminine energy. Deepak Chopra and Alicia Keys did a meditation on the feminine energy, and I thought they did a brilliant job. But who else knows about it? I mean, it's not well publicized, or
exactly.
and but the
Right.
feminine energy is it's because it's sustainable.
Mhm.
It will
Mhm.
The cream rises to the top. It will prevail. And I think that what's going on in the world today, right now, is a system that is crumbling. And this is where the phoenix rises from the ashes of that.
Yeah.
And that is the feminine energy that will
Right.
prevail. And
Eh,
so I think that
Yeah,
your book,
I
people getting your
I hope
book
you're
will,
right.
I believe it. Yeah, I just see
and
the writing on the wall.
and I also wanna say that this leaves room for part 2. So, there's another book in you for the explanation for those women who are hungry to find out more about you, about your experiences, about the divine feminist. There's
There's
room.
more that you wanna
Yeah,
say because
there's a lot more that you
Absolutely.
wanna say and you need to say,
Yeah,
and then they can find their tribe in you and
exactly.
identify.
Yeah,
Yes, yes,
yeah,
yes.
yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Debbie.
Well, thank you so much for
Yeah.
joining us and sharing
Yeah.
your your heart with us and the world, the rest of the world.
Thank you.
It's beautiful.
And
Thank
I
you
know
for
you wanted to
having
say,
me. This
"Oh, you know what? That I knew when I first met you we had to have you." But, had to have you on the podcast, so So you
Oh,
had one other thing
I
you
love
wanted
you,
to
sweetie.
say that
What do you want to leave our
that's
audience with?
that you wanna leave our audiences, and also the one disclaimer you said you wanted us to put in there as well for that
Oh,
the
right. Right.
thoughts,
Well,
yeah.
yeah. Did we even mention Cielito, Linda?
We did
No,
not.
we didn't.
Oh,
Other than the
okay. We
fact
did.
that you are the
Well,
honorable mayor.
You didn't say that. Did you say that?
I
right.
didn't,
Oh,
but I'm saying it now. She's the
okay. Well,
honorable mayor.
so
Well,
So
that disclaimer is just that if anyone out there is interested in Cielito Lindo, please know that my opinions, my thoughts are mine. They're not necessarily that of Cielito Lindo. So you won't come here, and be frightened off by a bunch of hardcore feminists running around holding signs saying, "No, blah, blah, blah." That's not gonna happen.
yeah, yeah.
Absolutely
No,
not
it
gonna
is
happen.
not. It is
So,
not.
no,
It
and
is
that's
not.
not who I am anyway.
right.
Yes,
Not at
yes.
all. Not
So,
at all.
yes, and that would be the disclaimer. I just want you to know that they're my opinions, my ideas, and I think
They're beautiful.
the only
Yeah.
other
They're
thing.
beautiful. Anyone would be good to claim them.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I mean, this has been so special. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you for
Yeah.
giving us the
Yes.
privilege to talk to you and share
Yeah.
the information because I think it should be shared. Everybody needs to be open to what is out there and just because it
Right.
enlightens you.
And we're going to have your information, how to reach you, your book, how to get the book in the description in this episode.
And if there's anything else you want us to add to this, please
Yes.
let us know so we could put it in the description
Yes.
as well.
Yeah.
Mm,
And you can
okay.
say it here too.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
All
Well,
right.
till next
Awesome.
time.
Okay.
Until next time, thank you.
Thank you
Thank you, thank you, thank you. And thank
Thank you.
everyone that's
for
listening
tuning
for
in.
tuning in to the Debbie and Kim show.
And remember, you are perfect for your purpose for being here now.
And
Don't
don't forget
to
to
like,
like,
subscribe,
subscribe, and
and comment.
comment. We love hearing from you.